Okay, so citizenship.
Yeah.
Okay, so you want to live in the United States? You want to become an American citizen? Okay.
Yes.
So, what about the process? How is it? How does it work?
Right, so I've been here 8 years, and I initially came here on a student visa. I completed a master's degree. Then after that, I got a job and I had a H-1B visa. So with that visa, you can have the intention of wanting to stay in the United States permanently. So you can have what's called dual intent. So I was working, but I also was able to have the desire to want to live here permanently. And then I had that for a number of years, and it was apparent that normally when you have that type of visa, you have to rely on your employer sponsoring you for a green card, and that wasn't an option in my case. So unless I found some other way to obtain a green card, I was going to have to leave the country, go back to Australia and all of that. So I entered the green card lottery, which is a lottery in which they give out 50,000 green cards each year, but you're competing with a lot of millions of other people. I entered that and I won.
Wow,
and,
lucky.
And that's how I became a permanent resident. Now, when I won the green card lottery, it wasn't a matter of they sent me a green card in the mail. It was still a long process. It just meant I won the right to apply without many restrictions.
I see. So the process, how long it took?
It took like about a year, I think. I became a permanent resident last year in 2014. I received notification that I won in 2013. I think I applied in 2012. So it took a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And then even after I won, I still had to wait. And then I had some problems with the lawyer that was helping me. So, it was only finalized in, around about June, July of last year. So I've been a resident for 1 year.
Okay. So the next step is to become a citizen. Now, how long will that take?
Yeah, so I have to be a permanent resident for 5 years, and you have to live the majority of that time in the United States. Not continuously, but I think it's something like at least 3 or 4 years out of the 5 years you have to be living here. So that's what I'm currently working on, and that's the reason I really can't go live in another country for another year, because it would interrupt that whole process.
I see. Now, is there a way of accelerating that waiting period? Or
I don't think so. That's it. It's just 5 years.
5 years.
Wait. I think if you are married, you marry a US citizen before you're a resident, maybe you only have to wait 3 years. Maybe that's the only exception. I don't know.
I think so. I think I heard that.
But I don't know whether that applies once you're already a permanent resident. So I don't know.
I heard about something like that. I'm not really sure, but I think it accelerates the process if you're married to an American citizen.
Right. And I'm just not sure if that applies once you're already a permanent resident. So I don't know. So basically, I'm looking at least another 4 years before I can become a citizen. And the reason I want to become a citizen is so I can have the freedom to travel without having to worry about where I'm going to end up living. Also, I'd be able to vote in the United States, because currently I can't vote, and voting is important to me because I have a lot of opinions politically, and I'm not able to vote in Australia anymore, because once you've lived out of the country for 5 years there, you can't vote. So I can't vote anywhere. So I don't really feel like I'm a citizen of any country.
So that's a feeling that I would say all immigrants feel.
Yeah, it's really weird, because I feel disconnected from Australia because I haven't lived there for 10 years. I can't vote there, and none of my life is there. Now I live here, but I'm not a citizen, so I'm not American. I wasn't born here. So it's just this kind of very weird place of limbo where I'm not really I'm just a floating citizen of the world, not of any country.
So do you consider yourself an immigrant?
Well, yeah, I'm an immigrant, but I don't know, it's weird. I don't really feel like that Australian, but I don't feel American. I don't know what it is. And then, sometimes when I write online or I participate in stuff on Facebook, on CNN pages and stuff like that, and people, go to my profile and see that I was born in Australia or whatever and go, shut up, you're Australian, we don't care what you think. So it's just like, things like that just remind you that, well, yeah, I'm not really.
But you know, you see, it makes me wonder why you left Australia. I mean, Australia has a very good economy. There's a lot of opportunities over there. I'm guessing. I mean,
that's a whole long story. It's a lot of Australians, especially at that age in the 20s, just go out to other countries because Australia is kind of so cut off from the rest of the world. So it's a common pathway to travel overseas, especially if you go to England, you know, stay there for a couple of years. It's just that most people end up going back to Australia. I didn't. So I guess that's the difference. It wasn't that unusual that I traveled or left.
so it's not economic reasons at all. It's just to get out.
Yeah,
go somewhere else.
Yeah, experience something different in life. So anyway, yeah, I'm going to be waiting a while to become a US citizen, and I guess just in the meantime I have to work out what I want to do, whether I want to stay in New York, whether I want to live in perhaps a different city in the country. I don't know, I haven't worked it out.
Yeah, so you have quite a while to think about it. And,
right.
Well, you know, time goes flying, so
yeah,
it's gonna go flying.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thanks.